yards.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of The Six. This one is about to be absolutely lit. As the kids say, there's going to be absolutely no capping in this episode. I'm not going to cap. Nobody's capping. I'm going to get the hang of that vernacular here pretty soon. I am, after all, 43. We have a fantastic show for you guys tonight. Before we get this party started, let us go around and introduce tonight's esteemed panel. First up,
what up?
The coolest man in Gotham City, none other than Mr. Locario himself. What's going on, man?
I'm chilling. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is gonna be on point. So yeah, man, just stay tuned. It's gonna be tight. You feel me?
Yo, I really like that red shirt that you have on. Red actually happens to be my favorite color, and
that's what's up.
Red, yeah, like a red V-neck is something that is from my wardrobe. So I'm definitely gonna have to see about that. Next up is the man who bangs twin white girls in the Twin Cities, none other than the man himself, Solo TV 84. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Donovan? We're gonna have a phenomenal show today. Like I said, I took notes. Solo TV 84. You guys know me. I speak about crypto. I do video reactions to Kevin. Everybody also have different type of shows and panels. So I'm excited. Let's get this going. I'm
gonna tell you what, Locario, or I'm gonna tell you what, Solo. I think I could probably start another channel and start my career just reacting to Kevin's videos. I could probably build a subscriber base just by reacting to Kevin's video. So I'm very, very happy about that. Next up, we have an all-star roundtable down there in the 305. Let's go around the table first. First up is Myron 5% body fat gains as he is stunting there. What's
up, guys?
Letting everyone know he is not here for the body fat. What's up, Myron?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here. Happy to be on the panel. Happy to host Kevin Samuels and Hotep Jesus right here in sunny Florida. It's lit, man. This is great.
This is going to be crazy. Next up is the Instagram wizard himself, Fresh Prince, CEO with the coolest chain I think I've ever seen, and always a very clean and crispy hairline, man. Like your hairline is never not crispy.
Hey, man, you got to stay fresh. You feel me? Fresh and fit.
There it is. Next up is a man who has, I think, 74 tech startups actually 76 now. 76 tech startups. The man himself, Hotep Jesus. How you doing, man?
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Myron, for having me. Thank you for having us, Donovan. Appreciate you.
Hey, listen, it's good to see you again.
It's 82 tech companies.
Oh my goodness, I don't know when this guy sleeps. And last but certainly not least, the Godfather himself, Kevin. I tell these bitches the way it is.
There you go. What's going on, man? Let's get into it. Let's do
All right. So tonight's show, what I'm going to do here quickly is I'm going to play a video. A lot of you have probably already seen this video, but in case there are people in our audience that have not, I'm going to play this video because it is very apropos to what we are going to be talking about tonight, and that is these delusional ass bitches out here thinking that they're 9s and 10s. So pay attention. Here we go. Women are making more than they've ever made in history. They're making more money than they've ever made ever. They're more influential, and they have more power than they've ever had. The power and influence and money that women have today is unprecedented. Now, this is exactly what feminists wanted. But what they didn't take into account was the effect that all of this money and power and influence would have on a woman's value in the sexual marketplace. And when I say sexual marketplace, I'm talking about a woman's overall attractiveness with regards to beauty, her femininity, her personality, etc. Stacey says she's 47 and fabulous, but are you married? Right? You have a boyfriend? Yeah, I didn't think so. The more a woman accomplishes, the more money she makes, the more power and influence she gets, the further she shrinks her pool of potential suitors. In other words, the more status a woman has, the fewer the men she'll have to choose from. Stacey doesn't want to down. Stacey doesn't want to date down. She doesn't want to marry down. Stacey wants to up. She wants to date up. She wants to marry up. Stacey is not going to give the time of day to men who have less money, less power, less status than they do. It's not in their DNA. Remember, guys, remember, the rule of hypergamy is that women will always try to consolidate on the highest value men available to her. But the caveat is that most of those men have to have more value than they do as women. So while Stacy at 47 still looks fabulous and works her ass off, she's not going to be attracted to the janitor. Donna, the executive at XYZ Fortune 500 company, she's not going to f the janitor, or rather, she's not going to f the junior partner at a big law firm. She wants to f the guy with his name on the door of that law firm. She's not going to date Steve, the warehouse supervisor. She wants to date the guy who owns the company Steve works for. Okay? Carol, the regional vice president of ABC multinational conglomerate, doesn't want to marry the company accountant. She wants to marry the CEO. Now, some women might say, well, there's nothing wrong with that. She has to have standards. And they would be absolutely right. Touche. But here's the problem, Stacy. The math doesn't work. You see, Stacy, there are far more Steves and junior partners and CPAs out there than there are company owners, CEOs, and senior partners at big law firms. Then Stacy might come out and say, well, there are far more male executive and CEOs than female executives and CEOs, so there are plenty to go around for all of the powerful women. In fact, they'd have their pick of all of the most rich and powerful men. They'd be a power couple. And to that, you would be absolutely wrong, Stacy. Yes, there are way more male CEOs and executives than females. You know, that whole male privilege thing, right? But high-value men like this don't want to date female vice presidents, Stacy. They don't want to marry these high-status women. They don't want women CEOs. They don't want relationships with 47-year-old women who work their asses off, who think they still look fabulous. They don't want relationships with women who have masculine personalities. Well, how do you know they're masculine, Donovan? Because they are where they are. You don't become a senior partner at a law firm by being a feminine, kind woman. You got to be a fucking killer. You got to be cutthroat. You don't rise through the ranks to become an executive at a Fortune 500 company without being driven and ultra competitive. And any woman who accomplishes these things has to exhibit masculine characteristics and do it consistently and do it for a while. And when she finally gets to where she wants, as soon as she reaches the pinnacle of her company, she has quite literally forgotten how to be a woman, how to be a lady, how to be feminine. And high-value men, executives, CEOs, rich men, they're not looking to be with a woman who acts like a man. They don't want to be with a woman with a scorned disposition. They don't want to be with 47-year-old women who are fabulous and work their ass off. They're not looking to get with women who are going to compete with them, or a woman who's stubborn because she feels like she has something to prove to him. These men don't want women like Stacy. They want Stacy from 25 years ago. They want the Stacy who was feminine, kind, ladylike, submissive. They want Stacy before Stacy went off to college. Right? They want women who are much lower on the competitive totem pole. Data entry clerks, customer service reps, secretaries. Guess what? There are many more of them than there are female executives and CEOs. So once again, it's the men who have the pick of the women they want. Think about the cliche we all know about. The cliche of the CEO secretary, right? We all know the CEO secretary, Don Draper and all that, right? He's higher value than she is. He makes more money. He tells her what to do. He has power. He gives her instructions, etc. The secretary is in a subservient position. She does what she's told. She asks his permission. She doesn't get out of pocket. She defers to him. That dynamic alone is conducive to physical attraction on both ends. He's dominant. She's submissive. Of course, the CEO is going to pick a secretary. It's inevitable. So yes, Stacy, there are more male executives and high-powered men in America than women. But those men don't want these women with power, money, and status. And even if a male CEO married a female CEO, he's cheating on her with his 23-year-old secretary. He didn't marry this woman because he loves her. He married her because it's beneficial to his brand and his business. So if ever there was an exception to the rule, it ain't because he's actually more attracted to that kind of woman than the kind of woman he's used to. And here's the thing. Women are starting to figure it out, and they're pissed. They feel like they've been duped. They were told to get all this money and all this status and all this influence, and they'd be able to attract any man they want. And the more they get, the harder it is to find a man, because their very female nature cannot love and respect a man who is not superior to her in every way. It can't be done. Let's take it to a lower level. A female junior partner at a law firm isn't going to date or marry a law clerk or first year. Worst case scenario, she'll date laterally and maybe get with another junior partner, but that's the worst case scenario. What she really wants is the senior partner. Let's go even lower than that. A female supervisor at a warehouse doesn't want a forklift driver. She doesn't even want to get with the assistant supervisor. She wants to marry the plant manager. She wants to date the guy in charge of her. I don't make the rules, guys. Stacy, I don't make the rules, sweetheart. This is how it is. And like I said, women are starting to figure it out. The high-powered female attorney is pissed off big time, because big-time male attorneys want nothing to do with her. The female executive is miserable because she now knows why she is no longer attracted to the men who used to make her wet on her way up the corporate ladder. Okay. All right, Stacy, you've got cars, you've got money, you've got friends. You can travel and you can buy pretty much anything you want. You work your ass off, right? You're 47 and fabulous. But again, what you really want, Stacy, is a man. And at the end of the night, when Stacy is laying in her $8,000 bed with her 8,000 thread count sheets, she cries herself to sleep, because she's just now figuring out that the more wealth, status, and power and influence she gets, the less the men that she wants will want her. Her taste is too expensive for her sexual market value, and it's always going to be that way. So what does Stacy do? She calls up her doctor and gets him to call in yet another prescription for Ambien to help knock her out at night, Lexapro to keep her from, and Valium to keep her anxiety about being alone at 47 years old under control. And that is the memo. So this...
Mike's.
Say again?
Oh, no, my bad. Go ahead, Donovan.
Yeah, so this is the basis of what we are going to be talking about today. I'm going to go around the panel, and I'm going to get our opening salvos to what you guys just saw and heard. I'm going to start with Lucario. What are your initial thoughts on my assessment of the Stacys of the world?
I mean, this is the thing, I think a lot of times what women don't get is that they don't realize that we're different from them. So we, women, they're looking for certain things that we don't really care about. So us guys, we're like, okay, if she looks good, we'll start dealing with her. For women, it's more so like women on a sexual level will deal with guys in that way, but they're also looking for other things too at the end of the day. But a guy is like, if she looks good, I'm going to deal with her. I'm going to try to turn the situation into what I want. But women are looking at guys in all these different levels. So they think that we're looking at them in all these different levels when it's not the same thing. So this is why you have women who think that they can actually attract the guy because they have money, because they're making a lot of money. They're at a certain status at their job, and they think that's attractive because that may be attractive to what they want when they're dealing with a man. You see what I'm saying? And then also, like you were saying about as far as women becoming more masculine or being masculine to get to those levels, right? And then wondering why they can't get can't get a man, right? They don't realize, they don't see the correlation. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, they think that what men want or what men are attracted to is what they want and what they're attracted to when it comes to, dealing with these guys and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Lucario, and before I go to Solo, this is a dating hack that I actually figured out a while back. If you want to know what kind of a man attracts a woman, ask her what kind of woman she is, just on a first date. So tell me, Sarah, what kind of woman are you? I'm strong. I'm a good leader. I'm decisive, right? I have good habits. I'm super competitive. Dude, she is never any of those things. No, what she is describing to you is what she is attracted to. So it's almost like they do an inverse projection onto themselves, not knowing that they are literally giving you the blueprint on how to fuck that night. Solo, what are your thoughts on what you just heard as it pertains to our topic tonight?
Well, Donovan, you said something phenomenal, which is highly underrated. You said the higher a woman gets in the corporate ladder or the world, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, the less options she has, right? Which is that's a gem, that's a nugget, because on the flip side, the higher we get as men, the more options we have. And a lot of these women, right, the Stacys, I dealt with one. She was a sugar mama. You know what I mean? These women, yeah, they'll deal with a Solo TV 84 or Lucario or Donovan Sharpe to maybe have some fun, right? And it was just a certain situation. But when they're looking for somebody who's more established and looking to settle down, they're looking at a very small pool of men. And now you're competing against the Instagram Kylie and Kendall and Kim, you know what I mean? Against those Instagram type of girls or hot younger women. And what these women don't realize is that these women think that, well, I'm established, I got my career, I'm mature, but they're not feminine, they're not submissive, they're not cooperative. You know what I mean? And so what happens is, and I've dealt with women like this, where they have this alpha mentality or this masculine energy at the workplace, and then it's hard for them to turn it off. However, in the bedroom, they want you to take control, right? Which is fine. But the reality is that if you were to get into a relationship with one of these women, they can't turn that alpha mentality off or that masculine energy off, because they're so used to being in control that it's hard for them to relinquish it. And so the reality is, with women like this, they are their own worst enemies, because they don't realize, like Lucario just mentioned, that men and women, we look for different things.
That's right.
And that's the main issue, is they think that I'm a PhD, that's what we want. No, when I see PhD, Kevin, I run. That's what I do. Facts.
Very good. Very good. Hotep. Now, obviously, I spoke in jest. You don't really have 74 startups, probably closer to 65. But a guy like you, when you meet women in your field, women who try to do startups, what are these women typically like, or do they exist in your sphere? Because you're sort of an anomaly in that regard.
I've met a whole lot of different archetypes of women in my field. In the CPG. What's that? Look,
no, that's your camera.
This is my camera right here. What's up, people? I met a woman by the name of Alix, who I worked with. We were in CPG, and she was the type of high status woman who was a boss. She was a C-level executive, and I was just a bum off the street, basically, to her. But being one of the low-level employees, me and her actually connected really well. And then there was another Kathy, one of my moms. She was probably in her 60s, beautiful white woman, beautiful heart inside. And these women took to me, young 30-year-old black guy, doesn't know anything too professional. I just had raw talent in the marketing field. And it was interesting to see their generation, as opposed to the next line of generation of white women that I was working with, who weren't as confident as the older generation was. It seemed like the older generation of women were more like, let men be men, right? Like,
yeah,
but this new generation of women were like, no, I'm the boss and da-da-da.
Yeah.
Whereas these other women just knew they were the boss. They were C-level executives and they just acted like it. But it didn't feel like a boss. It felt like I was just hanging out with, a colleague, Yeah. So I think a lot of this is subjective, based upon where the woman is mentally and what generation she grew up in. Because this new generation's fucked.
Yeah. Myron, expound upon listen, Hotep kept it 100% professional, very eloquent, and then right at they fucked. What are your thoughts on what you just heard from my video and what Hotep said?
Yeah, man. So back to our earlier broadcast, for those of you guys that might have missed it. So there's two demographics of human being that are the most lonely. It is a broke male that is out of shape, okay? And then a successful woman that is unattractive. And the reason why is because I agree 1000% with you, Donovan, and Solo. Women need to understand that the more money they make, the more doors close. As a man, the more money you make, the more doors open. So when a girl becomes successful and climbs the ladder, her her pool of suitable candidates starts to dwindle along with that. I'll give you guys a personal story. I have a sister. She's in med school right now, and I had a talk with her about 2 years ago, and she's like 28, or at the time she was about 27. And I told her, hey, listen, understand that you need to lock down a guy now while you're young, because as you become more successful and you make more money, you're going to limit your ability to get other. You won't be able to settle down with a guy that makes less money than you. It's just like biological fact. And she kind of tried to fight me on it. And then she thought about it and she was like, yeah, because I had to like remind her that her ex-boyfriend, the guy that she was dealing with, was not very ambitious. And that turned her off immensely. You know what I mean? But had she not been with him and been with a guy that, is lower on the totem pole socioeconomically, she would have probably tried to argue with me and try, with the egalitarian belief system that a lot of women have nowadays. But since she had literally dropped the guy because he wasn't on par with her when it comes to ambition, she was like, okay, yeah, you're right, big bro. And this is what a lot of girls need to understand, is that you need to know the more money you make and the more successful you become, the more doors close for you as a woman, versus for men, it opens doors. So, it is what it is. I'm not saying don't get out there and be successful.
That's why I like older women.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying, for the women out there, like, don't go to school and not be successful, but understand that there's consequences to that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got.
Listen, and before I go to Fresh here, Myron hit it right on the head. There is a price to be paid for everything. And this is for men too. If you want to be the CEO of a Fortune 1000 company, hey, more power to you. Just understand that your kids are probably going to hate you. Your wife is probably going to be having an affair, and your family's probably not going to like you that much. This is the price you pay to set your. Now, of course, it's not to that degree, but there are always costs to doing stuff like this. Women are so used to just never suffering consequences or never really, quote unquote, paying for anything. They're paying on the back end. Like, at some point, Father Time collects his debt for having given them absolute power over men for the better part of a decade. It can't just be all peaches and cream all the time. That bill is going to come due at some point, and your PhD can't pay that for you. So, Fresh, you're a younger guy. I think you're probably the youngest guy in the panel.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah. Oh God. Good God. He's like, you're a baby. What are your thoughts on the way the average 28-year-old girl is thinking? Because these girls, Fresh, they're seeing all of the proof. They see these old, road-worn, miserable women who talk, oh, I'm a boss bitch and I'm that, but I ain't got a man. Are the women, are the girls coming up right now that are your age, are they seeing this stuff and heeding these warnings, or are they just throwing caution to the wind and buying into the feminist narrative?
It's funny because I just want to touch on the part about the older women wanting what they can't have.
Yeah.
So I'll cover the social media aspect, right? So a lot of these women, they'll look on social media, especially like Instagram, these sites, and they'll see these high-profile guys and like, yo, like, I deserve that too. Why can't I have that? But yet they don't know what they need to do to get that guy. And for the most part, they see it, they think they deserve it, and they think they can get it. But these younger girls, for this generation, literally, it's like a whole like paradigm shift, because most of these girls right now, like, they're making hella money from OnlyFans, hella money from different webcam stuff and different sites, and they make a lot of money. But what's happening is high value guys, they don't want a chick that has money. They just want a hot chick that's going to be compliant.
Right.
But because they're making all this money, the young girls, they're taking the narrative that, you know what, I'm a boss chick, I'm doing my thing, so I need a man that's going to listen to me. But that's not how it works. So their current state in terms of like social media and making money makes them a monster in a sense. And as a result, high value guys just want a chick that's going to become submissive, maybe works at McDonald's, and, you know what I'm saying, is going to clean up after they're done. So that's what I would say.
Look, real talk. Before I go to Kevin, Myron says this all the time, dude. A billionaire will smash a girl who works at Burger King if she's hot enough.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give a damn what you do. We don't care. I remember this one girl I dated. She actually said to me, this was weird. She actually said to me, hey, I have a confession to make. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, okay, she's got a kid, she's married, boyfriend, whatever. She says, I didn't graduate high school. And I laughed. I was like, I don't give a damn about your high school diploma. I said, go back for your GED. Well, and then I laughed. I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't care about your education. Just do what the hell I say when you're in my house. Kevin, now you are more or less the poster child for what is happening, particularly in the Black community. You and I actually just spoke about this on the phone, or maybe about a half an hour ago. This is dividing the Black community along gender lines, and I have always been one to say women are more loyal to their gender than to their race. If you give a woman a choice to defend the Black man or the Black woman, she's going to defend the Black woman every time. This doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they are people. What are your thoughts on these quote unquote boss bitches who don't have a man? They want to talk to till they're blue in the face. Then they get a dose of reality. Then they want to call your show act a fool and then wonder why you tell them the truth.
Well, you cannot argue your way into desirability.
Yep.
This is not up for debate. And one of the biggest problems today is so many women are trying to get men to evaluate women the way they evaluate women. We evaluate them on the way we like them. I listen to other content creators, and I listen to women sitting around and actually ask the question, how accurate are men at evaluating women? And I'm like, you're asking how accurate the guy, the people, the part of the species that takes the women, you're asking how good are we at evaluating? That's what. Oh, I get it. You think we should evaluate you based on what you value. Tommy Lauren, value. This old boss bitch thing is just another way of saying uncompliant behavior. And it doesn't work. And no matter what happens, at the end of the day, 27 to 35, I call it the danger zone. Danger zone. That's when the yellow light comes on. Start realizing that, this is not working. In the manosphere, in the sphere, they call it the red pill, the blue pill, and the guys a purple pill. I'm going to start calling women. They have their violet pill moment, where they're blue pill and purple pill. Blue and purple make violet. A lot of these women are having a violet pill moment. They're starting to realize that this isn't working. And everything that I've been taught about going out, getting my job, getting my hustle, and getting this and getting that does not work to get me the outcome I want. And the only way I'm going to adjust and get the outcome I want is to hear things that I don't necessarily want to hear. And that means coming over into male spaces, because at the end of the day, the end consumer of a product, which is a woman, is a man. We buy that. We buy what they are selling. And the problem is it's sitting on the shelf.
Wow. Listen, truer words never spoken. Of course, the always eloquent Kevin Samuels. I'm going to read some of the super chats here. The first super chat that was sent in, I can't see it on the feed, but I'm actually going to see if I can go and get a screen grab and maybe mention it sometime toward the end. Ken T with the 2.29 euro super chat. I don't know how they say that over in euro. I appreciate that. Dr. Thunder, $5, says paying my respects to the 6. We appreciate that. Technomage B5, $10, says the tendency is to accept the comfortable lie rather than the uncomfortable truth. Yet it's accepting the uncomfortable truth that opens your mind to being able to do something about it. Very good, man. Very, very well said. And by the way, the super chats are spread evenly throughout the panel. If you support one of us, you support all of us. And we always appreciate your super chats. Mask, $20 super chat, says, bruh, you got Hotep Jesus, Myron, Fresh, Solo, Lucario, and Donovan. This is too much fire. My favorite Manosphere crossover. By the way, extra shout out to Hotep Jesus. This is about to be rewatch and rewatch worthy, except for the fact that I don't keep these on YouTube.
Yeah, this stuff gets too hot for YouTube, man.
Fire.
This is hot fire. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that everyone on the panel, if I can say that, is going to be a speaker at the Conference of Masculine Excellence. Am I accurate in that regard?
Let's go.
All right, cool. Everyone that you see here also confirmed is Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor will be a speaker at the Conference of Masculine Excellence. I'm working on other names as well. This is going to be big. We're sparing no expense. Let's keep going. Mask, another $5, says typo. Forgot the combo between Fresh and Solo. The combo between Fresh and Solo. Don't worry, fellas. I wasn't pulling a boomer move by mixing you two. Just got big fun.
Because we dark skinned, huh? Yeah.
Jonas Hunter, $20, says we have to stop giving these quote PhD women sexual attention. They mistake sexual interests as options. I see this 24/7. Yes, Women always make the mistake of mistaking a man's sexual interest for a man's desire to commit. I got 20 guys in my phone who want to butt fuck me, so I've got 20 commitments on the table. No, you don't. You have 20 commitments to get butt fucked. No, King Rob with the $5 super chat says a big problem with women is that they confuse sexual options as the same as marriage LTR options. Men are serious with marriage. LTR offers nothing, offers not, sex offers. Absolutely. It's what the other guy just said. NYKia 31, $10 says simps are a bit responsible for creating these entitled women. In their thirst, they are willing to abdicate their role as a man, thinking that it is going to backdoor their way into sleeping with them. That is actually right along the lines of what we are about to talk about here in just a second. Let me finish up these super chats and we will go right back to that. King Rob, $5 says shout out to KS for going viral. He's blowing up on social media. He may just save the black family. Been a lot of blowback. Stand your ground, Godfather. We're going to get back to that later as well. Technomate B5, $20 says, ladies, your degree is for you. It doesn't impress us as far as your desirability as a potential mate. If you're investing your youth in education, thinking you're going to get a man with it, you need to reevaluate. Real talk. The Steel Curtain, $5 says, damn, the Godfather dropping truth pills on the game. The hard truth will set you free if you just open your mouth and say, the problem is women aren't opening their mouths to the truth. They're opening their mouths for other things. And I don't think I have to mention what those other things are. Levon Everett, $5 says, respect to the six. You guys have helped me understand things I struggle to understand most of my life. Columbia Haney says, please, Kevin Samuels, don't sell out. We have a chance to make changes in our community. Please, please, please shout out to the big six. That to me seems disingenuous, but I want to know if I'm being too hair trigger on that. When this person says, please, please, please don't sell out, is that person talking about Kevin going mainstream? Solo, what do you think that means? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, going mainstream, and maybe now all of a sudden Kevin will have to soften his stance and whatnot in regards to how he speaks, right? Now the way I look at it is that what makes Kevin unique is his delivery and his presentation, how he delivers this information. He delivers it in a way that is very blunt to these women, and also he does it intelligently, where a guy like me, if I deliver it blunt, I'm a little bit uncouth with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Kevin knows how to deliver it very intelligently. Plus he has the presentation. He's a smooth brother. He looks good for his age. No, I'm not hitting on you, Kevin. I'm just keeping it real. You see him in that leather jacket. He's a boss. So that's what makes Kevin unique. And I think that if Kevin has a show. His show, and I've said this in my reaction video, is better than a lot of these Dr. Phil's and the shows that you see on late night TV. But regardless, I think what makes Kevin so unique is the fact of his presentation, his delivery, as well as how he's able to convey his message.
Yeah, Kevin is literally the smoothest guy.
On to that, Donovan.
Okay, yeah, what you got, Kev?
See, the issue is because men have never really had anybody to get to quote unquote mainstream levels to advocate for men. The notion is that you're going to get up there and all of a sudden you're going to step back and start moderating, going blue pill, kind of stuff. But see, the problem is the game has changed. See, you guys you're worrying about something that is over 5 years ago. The game has changed. The gig economy is here. The beer bug happened. The next wave of foreclosures, recessions, 896,000 women leaving the workforce in September. The game has changed. That is why women are coming to these spaces, because women are the more adept of the social cues than men are. They're not here because they didn't understand something. You want to know something? If you're ever in a cave or something like that, or on a ship, and you want to know if you're in trouble, what do? You follow the rats, because the rats know the way to fuck out. They're running out. Indiana Jones, you want to get out of the cave? The rats or the insects, they find light, they find water. I'm not calling women rats, but what I'm saying is they are good at survival. Men are busy doing their work and playing until our ship is going down. Women are getting on the fucking boats. So I could not get to that level and go backwards because there's no more ground there. What am I going to say different than what guys like Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson, and guys who have already made a name at telling women the things that they're used to hear? What am I going to say? What am I going to be, the fifth Pip? I mean, it's already been said.
Only men of a certain age got that.
I mean, but the thing is, I mean, it's already been said. And if I said, then there'll be nothing unique. What will make this unique is somebody actually sitting down and saying, well, why not? Why can't we have this conversation? Men can't always be wrong. And the problem in this whole thing is the delusion happens because women just prove they really do not know who men are.
Now, Myron, I'd like to actually get your thoughts on this because something that Kevin just said is quite profound. Indiana Jones always follows the rats because the rats know the way the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
Big ball or, there's some sort of booby trap or whatever, the waters, whatever the case may be, follow the rats, follow the insects, you get out. Myron, there are a lot of rats running toward the light. Okay, they're running away from feminism. They're running to traditional masculinity, conventional femininity. The problem is women aren't doing what Indiana Jones does. They can see it's not working, yet they still buy into the bullshit narrative. So why aren't women being Indiana Jones and following the rats?
Well, I mean, the thing is that I always say this: women accept feminism when it benefits them, but they also accept traditional masculinity when it benefits them as well.
Yes.
And the thing is that, they basically want to get the benefits of feminism. They want equal rights, equal privileges, everything like that, but they don't want to deal with equal outcomes, and everything else that comes along with that. But at the same time, they're going to expect you to take them on a date, pay, have these traditional chivalrous roles while they can abstain from their traditional feminine roles. If you tell a chick nowadays, hey, can you cook for me? She might honestly look at you and say you're a misogynist. But if someone breaks into the house, she's going to still look at you to protect her. So the thing is, I tell guys all the time, you got to understand that a lot of women adopt this mentality of dealing with the opposite gender. And I can't tell you how many girls tell me, oh, I'm a feminist, but then in the same sentence will go ahead and say, oh yeah, but I'm not gonna, but I still expect to be taken out on a date and everything else like that. So knowing that, guys need to be intelligent and know who they're dealing with when they deal with women. You know what I'm saying? And just act accordingly with the times. The problem is that a lot of guys date as if it's 1950 and be gentlemen to girls that quite frankly don't deserve you to be a gentleman in the first place. And I always say chivalry died, and guess who killed it? Women, just as Dave Chappelle famously said, a couple of decades ago. So guys just got to understand that the marketplace has changed. I agree 100% with Kevin. The social media is here. It's not going nowhere, especially with the bear bug going on. You're going to get more girls nowadays on online dating apps and social media than you are with cold approaching. I hate to say it like that because you can scale your approaches. You can be in like 10, 20 nightclubs at once. And guys just got to be intelligent and play the game. Women play the same game that women do and understand that women think differently. And your roles as a man are static while their roles as a woman is negotiable. So that's what it is.
Okay. So Hotep, I want to get your thoughts on the same question. Why do you think women aren't making like Indiana Jones and following the rats when there is clearly a way out, when clearly what they're doing is wrong? Why haven't they waken up? Or am I wrong? Are they waking up?
I mean, can I just divert the conversation real fast?
Yeah.
Stop dating American women. That'll solve all your problems right there. The Western woman has been completely ruined. They've been ruined by Disney and then the rest of Hollywood and the rest of propaganda and feminism and so forth. But I always tell dudes, I'm like, yo, your soulmate is in Africa. Your soulmate is in Asia. Your soulmate is in South America. She ain't in America. If we stop dating American women, they're going to start emulating the women that we're selecting. So we need, if it was up to me, I wouldn't date American women unless we're still a lot of Southern hospitality type women that still live that traditional role. So I would definitely, for example, I always told black dudes, you want to find a good woman, go to Virginia. They are starving. Black women are starving for men in Virginia. And so dating is very much geographical. You know, you date a New York chick. You know, depending on your status, it's going to be rough.
Bruh.
But you go get you a girl from the VA, she going to treat you like you the king. Even if you got a job, you know, you a manager. Oh, you're a manager at Walmart. Wow. You know, they're going to think you're somebody, you know, so it's the same thing when you deal with a chick who's from the backwoods of Africa, the backwoods of South America, or backwoods of Asia. She ain't ever seen an iPhone before. What Eddie Murphy told you, go get Miss Fufu, right? So I just think that men should look to date women outside of, for example, there's a lot of second generation Jamaican women, African women, so on and so forth, that still follow that traditional role. So if it was up to me, I would date a Jamaican woman or African woman or a South American woman, and Asian is definitely in that mix right there. Even some European women still have some of those traditional values, but I think it's time to X out American women unless they follow the traditional gender roles.
Okay, very good. Lucario, I saw you turned. It looks like you turned about the same shade as your shirt. What say you?
What's the question again? Are we talking about messing with foreign women?
I want you to weigh in on messing with foreign women, but the first question I want you to answer is, why aren't women waking up? Why do they continue to do the same things when they see that clearly, especially older women, it's not working?
Well, the thing is women are stubborn. You got to understand that women don't want to do what works. Women want to, they want to do what they want to do. And then they want everybody else to acquiesce to what they want to do. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why they'll say, oh, well, you guys shouldn't be attracted to this, or you should want a woman like that. Or you understand? So they don't want to deal with reality. They just want reality to conform to them. It's just the problem with women generally. You understand what I'm saying? As far as foreign women are concerned, you might have situations where, based off a culture, a woman might act differently in some situations, but generally speaking, it's not that much of a difference. You understand what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is that if you're a guy, let's say, for example, if you're a guy who's having trouble getting women right now, wherever you're living, you understand what I'm saying? You're not going to magically become some Don Juan somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's usually like the illusion that guys have. All that will happen is let's say if you go to a foreign country, because you got that paper, you understand what I'm saying? You look like the meal ticket out. So yeah, she'll deal with you, but then next thing you know, she's going to be slapping your hand like Melania Trump was doing a Trump. You understand what I'm saying? Because she's not feeling you like that. So you're just the meal ticket. It's the illusion that it's easier, but they're just complying because you got the paper.
Listen, I agree so that's what usually what happens in this regard. If you can't get laid in America, you can't get laid anywhere. Because at the end of the day, all women are like that. And when I say all women are like that, that doesn't mean they're all the same. No, it means they all operate under the same set of principles. Dude, Ukrainian women are as hypergamous as women down in South America. Women in South America branch swing just like women who are from California do. The difference between foreign women, at least for now, and American women is foreign women seem to be a little bit more malleable. They seem to be a little bit more trainable. They will most certainly fall in. They respond better to masculinity. American women seem to get more masculine when men show masculinity, particularly black women. Black women see masculinity as an affront on their very character, which is probably why they react so viscerally to it. So I agree with the fact that if you're not good with American women, you're not going to be good with foreign women. That goes again with what I agree with. You still have to have game to bang foreign women. Foreign women, you have to have game. They're just not going to be as much of a headache. They're going to be more trainable. They're going to be more agreeable. They allow you to be masculine, which allows them to be feminine. Fresh, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. So,
Donovan, go ahead, take it away.
You met my friend, right? He no longer partakes in American women anymore. That's not his.
Yes.
and he has literally left the market in America. And whenever he goes to Colombia, that's his market. And as the saying goes, go where you're appreciated. So I would tell guys, right, like whatever your thing is, like whatever makes you happy, you should follow. Now, regarding women and them not changing their current status of wanting what they can't get, it's because there's so many options. And I blame guys too as well, because a lot of guys perpetuate and make this a thing, because if Johnny says no, right, I'm not dealing with your bad behavior, I don't want to handle this anymore, and leaves, John is going to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm not getting laid, I'm gonna deal with this. And it just keeps this perpetual like swing that keeps going, because if John doesn't do it, Dan is going to do it. So Hotep is right. If we actually stopped allowing this behavior to happen, they will have no other choice than to like get back to their regular behavior, which is like being feminine, submissive, and stuff like that. So I get why guys are leaving the marketplace right now and going overseas, because one, they are more feminine, and Lakari is also right as well. If you don't have game, I'm sorry to say this, if you can't get girls here in America, me and Marion are here in Miami. It's the hardest city you could probably pick up girls in. Yeah. If you can't get girls here, I guarantee you, when you go to Colombia, Brazil, wherever, they're gonna finesse you, because once again, you're able to get out. So they see you come in, they're gonna be feminine to you at one point. You bring them over here, deuces, bring their husband, their family. So guys, you got to be careful when people say to you, "Hey, go overseas, it's gonna be easier." No,
I think
it's gonna be the same.
I think the point in dating a woman overseas is because she has skills that an American woman doesn't.
Yep.
The woman overseas had to travel 1.2 miles to the river to do laundry. In America, she only got to walk from the bedroom to your washer and dryer to do your laundry.
Damn.
Sometimes she's not even doing it.
Yeah. And she cooking for a village of 20. She could cook for you real easy when you take it to the market, and it's going to be tasting good. American women don't have skills to take care of a child. It's not about the man. It's about dating a woman who can be a good mother. That's what we're here for, to procreate. The kids take on our legacy as a man. That's why we want to leave behind the kids. They carry the legacy when we die. If she can't nurture a child, she can't nurture no man. Children need food. Children need clean clothes. These new American women, they don't wash clothes. They send it to the dry cleaner. They don't clean. They Uber Eats.
Oh God!
It's not about the money. It's about the child and the lessons you instill in them. So when we dating overseas, we dating because the skill sets are innate and don't need to be taught.
I'll say this real quick about foreign women, because I'll agree with Hotep and Fresh that they're going to have rudimentary basics down. Because quite frankly, as you guys know, for some of you guys that might not know, I come from a Muslim background. My parents are from Sudan. So in our culture, when people come in and we have guests or whatever it may be, my mom immediately went into the kitchen to fix some juice, get some food, whatever it may be. Because when you have guests come over, they're very, you got to make sure that you ask them, hey, are you hungry? And if they say no, you still give it to them anyway. So a lot of girls in Western society aren't taught these basic things, you know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, they're actually taught to not do these things for men. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rollo Tomasi. He always says it. Feminism basically teaches women to not do things for the express pleasure of a man. But what I will say is this too, with foreign girls, I agree with Locario that they will put on a facade, especially if they know that they can get a come up off you. And they're going to they're going to behave extra hard if they know that there's a green card in it, you're a Western guy, you got some expendable income, etc. Because they know just by you being a foreigner, you're going to have higher status than pretty much 99% of the guys in their area. This is why guys, in my opinion, that out here talking about, oh, Colombia this, Philippines that, Thailand this, whatever, that's cool. I don't knock guys that go foreign. However, you're not in a position to coach men that deal with women in Western countries, quite frankly. And I'm not saying that to shoot no shots, but it's a completely different game. And I'll say at another level, if you live in LA, Miami, New York City, whatever, it's another level on top of that, because now you got to deal with other things. So,
but don't you think Western women are easier?
I would say
chicks, because I mean, really, what does a Western chick need? She just needs to see a nice car and fucking buy her some food, and she's dropping her drawers.
Yes,
the bar is low for American women.
That's true. That's true. Like for sex, yes. Like the foreign girl's going to give you. The foreign girl's going to give you more up front. But what I am saying is, if you're going to go foreign, I suggest you stay there as a Westerner.
Yeah.
Because when you bring her back over this way, she's going to still adopt feminist ideals. And the reason why feminism is so appealing to women is because it allows them to observe all the benefits of traditional masculinity while absolving themselves of traditional feminine responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know, just like I said before, you tell her, you know, a guy breaks in, you got to defend her, but then you turn around and say, hey, can I get a sandwich? She's going to look at you and say, make it yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and that's completely acceptable.
When you bring your foreign chick here, you can't let her have a smartphone.
Facts.
Hell,
big facts. I mean, so
all the time there are a lot of guys, and we've all seen this before. Before I get to Solo, I'm gonna talk about this. A lot of guys say, I'm going to go to Asia. I'm going to go to Eastern Europe. I'm going to go down to Argentina. Get me a woman and bring her back here. Dude, she will fuck you over worse than the American-born woman.
Yes.
Born when it comes to America is like the girl who was raised in Catholic school going off to a secular college. She doesn't know how to act. Solo, you had one last thing to add before we get the super chat.
Yeah, so real quick. So in regards to the foreign argument, as a guy who lived in Germany for a decade, right? Foreign women are better. However, you guys, Myron is right. Donovan is right. Don't bring them back. Just like the Fufu skit by Eddie Murphy back in '89. You guys already know. Do not bring them back. Keep them there. I know a guy, real quick, a guy who married a Filipina lady. And guess where he is now, Donovan? He's in the Philippines. Number 2.
Yeah.
In regard to the rat race question, modern women don't understand the concept of compromise. They want a plug and play guy. That's a term I came up with. Women look at men like a USB cable, right, Donovan? They can just plug in and it'll work right away. And the problem with modern women is, like Hotep is saying, Hotep brings up an excellent point. They don't understand the concept of working and working, not just to do the laundry or make eggs, but also working in a relationship. That's one of the reasons why, Donovan, divorce rates are through the roof right now. That's one of the reasons women, 80% of women file for divorce. That's facts. Because women don't understand that for a relationship to work, for a marriage to work, you have to have work. You have to put in work. Yes. And sometimes things happen where things get a little rough. Modern women now will take the easy way out. Back in the day, Donovan, divorce was a taboo thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Divorce was frowned upon. It was looked down upon because you would get the side eye in the community. So I'm not saying all marriages were perfect, but there was a concept of work. There was a concept of compromise. And modern women now, they don't understand that concept because from a young age, they're told they're special. They're princesses, the Disney concept that Hotep Jesus was talking about. So a lot of women get pampered and spoiled. Now imagine, Donovan, if somebody washes your ass for you, then guess what? You're going to expect somebody to wash your ass when you grow up. So a lot of these women, by the time they're at that age where they got to wash their own ass, and that's an analogy I'm using, they don't know how to do it because of the fact that they've had it done all their life. Somebody's done it for them their whole life.
I got one sentence.
I didn't get a chance to.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
All right, so I'm gonna come in from a completely different standpoint. Okay.
All right.
One thing that I noticed with men is we are very loyal. We pick a team at 5 years old, and we are Cowboys fans forever. Because we don't change. We're not survivalists. Women are survivalists. That's why they change. So oftentimes men sit around and say what women will or will not do based upon masculine mindsets. The U.S. Census Bureau reports divorces are at a 50-year low in 2019. Marriage filings are at a 50-year high. So why are the divorce rates lower if women file 80% of divorces if some women aren't learning something new? That's just the numbers. The they're low and the rates are at a high. See, I hear the American woman, this woman. I don't really care about this side or that side. When I get a woman, if I decide to, I'm getting an outcome and it's going to cost me something.
There you go.
It's going to cost me something. So don't worry about, and my outcome, I may want it 20, 30 is different than I want at 40 or 50. What I want at 40 or 50 is different than what I needed at 30. So men, we got to get to the point to where you got to understand what's it going to cost and what are you willing to pay for it? Because you're going to pay for it. Yeah. And like you said, you can't get an ideal situation.
You're saying pay for it, but not just money.
Right. And the thing is, you're going to we can't make an ideal situation. So what is a situation that you can work? What's an acceptable loss? What's an acceptable loss and what's an acceptable
And a
cost?
loss, I wouldn't look at it a loss. I would say an exchange.
There you go. See, whatever, saying whatever it is, as long as I'm getting what I want as an outcome, and I go into it, as long as I walk away from the situation saying I put in this, I got that.
The ROI.
The ROI. It's always ROI with me. It's always ROI.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I just had one sentence that I want to add to this, man. Back to what Solo was saying. Guys, men got to understand in 2020 and beyond, women don't build, they move in. You know what I'm saying? So build and be comfortable building it yourself, and then invite her in as a temporary guest. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Listen, never be the dude says, man, I want a woman I can build with. No.
Yeah, nah. They're not built
Last
for it,
thing
bro.
you want.
Women want you pre-assembled. And the thing is, as women have made more money, they will not tolerate a guy that's not at least on their level socioeconomically. And quite frankly, they want a guy who's superior to them socioeconomically. So this is why chicks don't build, they move in. You could be the breadwinner, even if she makes her own money. Your money is her money, and her money is her money. You know what I'm saying?
Can we break down that dynamic?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 6-figure nigga chick and her dating down, right?
Yeah.
Socioeconomically. I think there's a little bit of nuance to this conversation.
Okay.
I think the problem is they won't let a nigga in. Period. If he makes less than.
Facts.
But if he gets in
Mhm.
the door and he's secure in his masculinity, he can conquer a woman who makes more than him. But I think the problem is when men make less than a woman, the man acts insecure, and insecurity already off-puts a woman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
I've dated women who make more than me my whole life. You know what I'm saying? But they like me because nigga, I just felt like I was always
You're an
that
anomaly,
nigga.
though, then. You're an
know
anomaly. Yeah.
That is very rare.
Yeah.
And that's why I say for men, the most important thing you need for any woman of any socioeconomic status is confidence.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
I know y'all teach that.
Yeah.
Confidence is more important than the money. I mean, I've dated chicks who exclusively dates NFL and football players. And I'm like, why are you talking to me? Because my bravado.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I didn't care about, her status, so on and so forth. But I think the problem is getting in the door.
Yeah,
She see a
facts.
dude that, is a garbage man. She like, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yo,
But if he can get in the door and hold his man ground,
yo, Donovan,
she gonna fold quick.
can I real quick? Yo,
Go ahead, man.
I know girls coming out right now, 18 years old, that will not date anyone their age. It has to be either a sugar daddy or get a has status.
Wow.
And what's happening is the young guys that are coming up now, they don't have a chance because they're so warped and had that one experience where the guy took care of them, they paid their rent, someone on the flight to Bali, that their minds are so like
the hypergamy.
they focus on guys that status now. So for young guys coming up too as well, like it's hard because they can't get in the door. And then the guys that do get in the door, like they change their whole experience with guys. So now they're like fucked because they can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Well, one of the problems, now this may be unpopular, but one of the problems I see with a lot of younger guys today is you give up too quickly.
Yes.
I was talking about this last night. Your tolerance for rejection, or it's like you try once or twice and you feel as though it should work. And I come from an environment, like I said, sales environment. I started every day expecting to hear no 50 times.
Damn right.
That was my life.
Yeah.
So when you build up a level of rejection, I've consulted with incels, MGTOW dudes, and I find that I was like, why are you this way? A girl stood me up for the movies. No, this happened. A guy actually told me the reason I am living with my mama with my 4 brothers is because my girlfriend, he's calling her a girlfriend. She stood me up. Sophomore year happened one time. And that was his justification for 10 years. I'm like, and my thing is this: I get what we're saying about these girls over here, but women always want more.
Yeah.
How do you build anything with guys? How do we build buildings in a society where guys are like, oh damn, it's too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to dig ditches. This country had to be built by guys who fought World War II, tougher stuff. So that's why I really don't. While we can have philosophical conversations, I really don't care about what women think because I'm over here building with men. And guess what? When we building shit, they're going to come over here and make sense.
Facts.
Yeah.
They move in, man.
Can I hop in real
Yeah, we get these super.
I'm gonna shut up real quick. So in the marketing world, there's two types of marketing. There's outbound marketing and there's inbound marketing.
Oh, there we go.
Is when you attract the people to come to your product. Outbound is when you advertise and you bring people in, right?
Mm.
So I wrote 2 books. I wrote Dominate Twitter, which teaches you inbound marketing through branding organically without the advertising. I wrote Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, which teaches you the same exact thing with women. So he mentions try, right? So I mean, I've definitely tried with a lot of women. I can't say I won't. But my approach, and there's many approaches to getting women, was inbound marketing with women, how to make them come to you.
Yep.
And if you can establish that type of approach, you never lose and you never deal with rejection.
Damn, that's solid.
Image and branding. I mean, your
Yes.
image is. I
Yep.
mean,
That's what Fresh teaches.
Yeah, that's what I teach, bro. Literally.
you
Attract.
bring- yeah,
If you can attract them to you, bro, you win the battle because you can focus on what's important in your life, building your business, dealing with high value guys. But at the same time, you try them whenever you're free. You know what? I worked all day. I deserve a little bit of rest. Some feminine energy come through.
Yeah.
But until then, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Let me comment on something Fresh said. And Fresh are absolutely correct. Young guys these days don't have a chance. But here's the thing. They shouldn't have a chance, right? Young guys, and this is exactly what Kevin said, they give up too easily. What young guys have to understand is that it's going to be really, really hard when you are 18, 19, 25, 26 years old. But trust me when I tell you, if you stay the course and you continue to improve on yourself, you continue to get those battle scars, the party starts when you hit the big 3-0. Women have the first laugh, guys. They laugh at us in grade school. They laugh at us in middle school because they're starting to develop boobs and boys are starting to like them. They laugh at us in high school. They laugh at us in college. They even laugh at us when we're in our 20s. But guess what? We as men, we get the last laugh, and our last laugh lasts a while because 70-year-olds out here banging 20-year-olds. Those are the facts. Let me get to these super chats before they disappear. Ken Thoreau, $3 says, "Take my money, bro.
Take my money."
Ball guy, $20 says, "Thank you all for what all you legends do. You know you're speaking the truth when it offends those trying to spread lies. Don't forget to avoid the black pirate flags of death with these proper garden tools." Well said. 22, $2 says, "I sent that first super chat. I said, thank y'all." Yeah, he said, he actually thanked us. I think it was another $2 super chat. Columbia Haney, who actually sparked that conversation, said, 499 says, "Please, I'm saying don't change who you are. Please, I respect everyone here." Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about any of that. Jared Bogarty, $5 says, "Here's my contribution from the moderators. Shout out to the Big Six. Keep building Wakanda, keep building Wakanda, fellas." Listen, let me.
Chop his head off, Donovan.
Listen, I understand what he's saying. Wakanda don't exist, okay? And I'm going to say something else. If anyone here thinks that the Conference of Masculine Excellence is going to be the Black 21 Convention, you are sorely mistaken. Clary, Phil Foster, who else is going to be at the CME? Terrence Pop will all be there. Listen, I want to make this very clear. The Six is we are made up primarily of African American men, but this isn't for us by us. I'm not pro-black. I'm not Wakanda forever. I'm pro-male. That's what I am. I appreciate the contribution. We're not trying to build Wakanda because Wakanda doesn't exist. It's a fucking fantasy. What we're trying to build here is masculinity. Okay? I appreciate the super chat. Let's keep that kind of stuff out of it. And listen, shout out to Chadwick Boseman. We lost him way too soon. Art Dizzle, $10. I certainly appreciate that. J-Man 12, $15 says shout out to KS and everyone else. Man, KS got the shout out and we got the and everyone else. All right. I see how it is. 49 from Columbia Haney says, "Thank you all. The Big Six keeping it always keeping it real." Christian Salcedo, $5 says, "Simple. Women want it to work. That's why women can tell things aren't working out for them with men, but they are slow to change." Very, very well said. Long Shot Beats, I appreciate you becoming a member. Obviously, as a member, you can then chat and do other fun stuff like that. Takeem Hilton 2.0 says, "Finish line chicks They wait at the finish line. Again, what you have to understand, I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but it's okay that women sit at the finish line and fuck the winner. That's fine as long as you're submissive, compliant, and obedient. You can fuck all the winners. Well, you can fuck all the winners you want, but you need to be fuck worthy. Sauce Factory, $5 says, my ex-girlfriend couldn't make instant cup noodles properly. Wow. That's as bad as the eggs. Jonas Hunter, another $10 says, Hotep was dropping facts. My ex messed up trying to cook spaghetti. A damn shame. Devin actually made me a really nice spaghetti dinner right before we got on the air. And oh, by the way, Devin now wants to cancel our laundry service. You guys made her feel service. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Yeah. You can take care of my SEO if she's doing the laundry, right? Like that's Good Men, $10 says, I see The Godfather. I donate. It's that simple. Going mainstream has opened Pandora's box on this issue. It's coming, guys. At the end of the day, just stop simping. Women go be women. Stand on your square regardless. Stephen Ortiz, $5 says, a few years ago, an article in Sweden were complaining about women coming from Asia marrying their men. Yeah, that sounds like the black.
Yeah. Get you a Chinese woman, boy.
Boy, you better.
Boy, you better.
Yeah, $5. We appreciate that. Caleb, $20. This Hotep speaking facts. Shout out to all of you gentlemen. Appreciate
your time.
Hakeem Hilton, another. Oh wait, I already. A few more. Robert.
Hold
on a second. Robert Shuck. Oh boy, Shuckart. Robert X with the $100 super chat says, appreciate all you do. My value is going up due to paying off student loans, and house should be paid off in 4 years. I have noticed that women look more, and I am using the red pill teachings you all teach to make me a better man. Thank you, gentlemen, for all we do. I love those progress reports. Love those.
Thank you for the support, man.
$5. They are coming in hot and heavy. $5. Glad to be a part of Myron and Fresh's course. These guys are the real deal. Inbound marketing dating strategy is the only way, he says, in 2020. That is very, very interesting. Just a few more here. Threat 777 $5.
There's some room for outbound. There's definitely some room for outbound marketing with women. Just want to put that out there.
All right. The Conference of Masculine Excellence is going to be in June. I haven't released the dates yet. I'll be releasing the dates in a couple of months. Red Pill Mike with a $5 super chat says, quote, I want a relationship where we can both grow together. Translation. And will likely choose a guy just as damaged as me. There's a little womanese there for you. Wow. Shout out to Red Pill Mike. Eugene Prentice, $5 says, my dad was a 77-year-old guy with a 30-year-old nurse. Beyond facts, truths. Guitar, $5 says, great job clearing that Wakanda thing, Don. Oh my God, I can't stand that. $2 says, I pray Kev's show gets more girls in the gym. It probably won't. Stay with me here. We just got a few more here, guys. Mask, $5 says, the Wakanda comment had me rolling. I lived in Africa. Don't think it's all cracked up to be. It's different when popo mean mugging you with zero English, right? E, big respect to the gentleman in the panel. Keep it up, brothers. Ray and Byrne with the $7 Canadian says, great content, guys. What is your advice for a 19-year-old in university? Shout out to Hotep. Keep up the great content, sir. I'm going to answer that question. Lift weights and get an education. Don't worry about girls. James, $30 says, unemployment will end without Congress this month. The economy is down right now. Women will become even more desperate. Catch the rest tomorrow. King Rob says, the Godfather may just save the modern Western woman. Man, oh man, they really think that you are actually going to save these hoes out here, Kevin.
You know what? You just throw a ripple into a pond and watch it move. I would say this, that shockingly enough, man, in my group, I'm seeing things that I don't see on the streets, but I get emails daily from women telling me that I've watched your show, and as a result, I've submitted to my husband, I'm this and that, and I get an email or a video message from the husband saying I got a whole new wife, and I'm like, you can't save them all, but I'm as long as you being better for a man, I'm good.
Yeah,
I just want better women for the men. That's what I want.
Fact.
I'd like to answer this super chat. I want to go around the room and answer this particular super chat. It was from NYKia31. I'm going to put it on full screen here. So he says, simps are a bit responsible for creating these entitled women. In their thirst, they are willing to abdicate their role as a man, thinking that it is going to backdoor their way into sleeping with them. Mario, I would like to get your thoughts on this first, because you are the guy who always calls out these simps, these thirsty guys, for embracing feminism just to get laid. Now, sort of a two-part question. We'll go around the panel with this. Are we responsible? Are simps, are men responsible for creating entitled women? Number one. Number two, can Kevin really save these hoes?
Yes, men are 100%, 110% responsible for creating these entitled women, because understand, women can't do anything unless we give them the permission to do it, meaning that can't play you, they can't, use you for your money, they can't disrespect you. None of that can happen unless you allow them to do it. As far as like Kevin Samuels saving these chicks out here, I think that there's some real women who know what he's saying is real, and they're adhering to it, and they're in the shadows, because when those type of women are outspoken and say, hey, look, man, he's talking some real stuff, a lot of women are going to push that down because they don't want to have to take responsibility to change. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully, if more and more women make it to where it becomes more of like mainstream, where more women are adhering to that, then it will change. But I think it's a slow process, because a lot of women out there who are really about it and really want to change, they're just in a minority right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Solo?
That's what I think.
Facts.
Let me ask Solo, do you think, now I agree with Lucario. Men, simps are 100% responsible for today's entitled women, right? What are your thoughts on that? And can Kevin Samuels really save these hoes out here?
Yeah, so to answer the first question, yeah, definitely. I mean, Donovan, I'm not trying to answer a question by asking a question, but I have to. Who is paying for these chicks OnlyFans subscriptions?
Men.
Right.
There you have it. And so the main issue that I see, I've noticed, and I want to go also back to what Kevin said, is that you have a lot of men right now that, the arrogance of women. If I go on a dating app, women will have their Cash App or Venmo in the dating app.
Bam.
And guess what, Donovan? Why would you do that? Because some guy has done it before, has paid her before doing it. So why not put it there? I remember, Donovan, I swear to God, true story. One time at my job, this was a few years ago, and there was a girl there. It was a black girl. So we decided, let's do an experiment. She created an online dating profile at like Badoo or something, and she ended up getting $40 by the end of her shift.
Oh, stop it.
I'm not making this up. The reality is there are a lot of men out there that are not willing to, that give up too easily, like Kevin said, and they're not willing to do the work. So you have a lot of guys now who, they wanted the easy way. I come from the old school of, the red pill, where you used to have to do minimum 10 approaches. And if you got blown out all 10 times, then you did 10 more. We worked for the shit. You know what I mean? And it's not just with women, but I'm just using that as an example. And so a lot of men nowadays, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say something that's going to be unpopular. But a lot of men nowadays are entitled as the women that they're complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Wow.
I agree with you, Solo. And that's the thing. You cannot look. I look at every approach of a woman is just building up your skill points, building up your hit points. And guys are evaluating as a win or loss and a rejection. She didn't reject you. She just missed the opportunity for a good guy. You keep it moving and get a one that actually kicks it with you. She just actually won a good opportunity with you. So we got to reframe how we look at loss, because to be a salesperson, your mind state going into the next call is important. If you've ever watched my show, number one, you saw a man get finessed and hustled in real time by a sugar baby 2 weeks ago on my show on a hot mic.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, when I go into a contentious call, if you notice, I will go, I can just switch gears. Next person, it's a new, hey, how you doing?
That's right.
You have to have the mindset of a cornerback. You got to forget the last play.
Yes.
Because it's going to impact how you do everything else. A rejection could mean many things, but we put too much importance on it. Could have been bad timing, got a boyfriend. She could have a A yeast infection. You don't fucking know. I mean, all you got to realize is this means not right now. I was telling you guys last night about contacting people to collaborate with who didn't hear back from them. Then all of a sudden you hear back from them before or after viral, and still like, hey, how you doing? With all the problems, man.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry. That he's talking about me. No, I'm joking.
Myron, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a lot of heat there given. Well, first I'll touch on Kevin's point with rejection. You guys got to understand, a lot of guys go in trying to meet girls under, I hope she likes me. No, you guys need to go in there like, take it or fucking leave it. And if a girl rejects you, say thank you and move on to the next girl that is going to deal with you. Because quite frankly, the girl that gets you, the worst girls are the ones that are going to sit there and talk to you and get your free attention. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Shout out to ARC, no free attention with these chicks. The only thing is now girls are able to scale their attention thanks to social media. You know what I'm saying? And going back to the guy's question, he was asking, what was it exactly again?
So he wants to know, are simps responsible?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So 1000%, I'm going to put the onus on men. The reason why women act the way they do is because I'm going to hold the men accountable. It's men's faults. And let me give you guys a dark reality right now. Me and Fresh, as you guys know, we're here in Miami. We've dated many dancers, OnlyFans girls that do webcam. Man, there's a chick I'm talking to right now that makes $20,000 a month off OnlyFans and Chatterbait. Okay? And let me tell you guys something. These girls are fucking laughing at you in the back. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're literally laughing at you guys. And let me tell you guys something else. If you guys look back, we had Sarah J on our podcast, and we talked about this. The only people that pay for porn are men. You understand? So the reason why women act the way they do is because men allow women to act the way they do. If guys weren't out here paying for porn, going to strip clubs, basically giving money, because let's keep it real. A lot of these guys are paying women for attention only. They're not even getting laid sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They're just paying to get attention from an attractive girl. Once guys realize their value, that quite frankly, the high value guy is the prize, not these women, then things are going to start to shift. But the problem is that guys don't put respect on their attention. They don't put respect on their time, and they put chicks on a pedestal. But let me tell you guys something. Last time I checked, beauty is very fucking common. But you know what? Let's do some numbers. And Kevin talked about this too. Only about 14% of men are over 6 feet tall. 10% of Americans make over $100,000 a year. An even smaller fraction of those men of those people are men. This is all people, right? Women, men, whatever. Single men making over $100,000 a year, even smaller. Over 6'2", 3% of the U.S. population. Okay? Then let's assume the fact that you dress well, game, whatever it may be. Bro, there's plenty of hot bimbos all over the place. If you fit any of these metrics, you're automatically an anomaly. Yeah. So guys need to start moving in a way that they treat women as expendable commodities. Too many fucking guys go out here and put these chicks on a pedestal. This is why girls flake on you. This is why, and quite frankly, like I say all the time, most attractive girls don't respect most men. And quite frankly, you guys are invisible to them. So guys need to adopt the same dating strategy that women do. What do I mean by that? You need to start flaking on these chicks. You need to start leaving them on scene. You need to start basically...
Leaving them on scene, Myron. When Myron says leaving them on scene, this is with your read receipts. They see that you've seen the text, but you haven't responded.
On Instagram and or on iMessage. And you guys got to play the game that women do, and you got to treat them as expendable commodities. That's the only way they're going to put respect on your name and actually take you serious. But when you give them free attention, you pay them just to talk to you on a webcam, or you pay them to just like sit on your lap. You already took an L, man, because you're telling her you are so much better than me that I need to financially compensate you for your company alone. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you guys can't sip. It's men's fault that women are the way they are, not women.
Okay, Hotep, before I get to Hotep, I actually have because I want to get Hotep's thoughts on this, but A's and Aeon with the 25 Romanian luz, which is roughly $6 and I guess 50 US dollars, says, can you name those inbound marketing mentalities again?
No, you can go buy my book. Oh,
yes.
And masculinity. There are about 22 unbreakable rules of masculinity. Go buy the books. Unbreakable rules of masculinity is only $15. To dominate Twitter is $50.
And he just overchatted the total of $12, so he can afford it.
He got it. He's a high value gentleman out here.
So, what are your thoughts on the male role in the state of females? Because a lot of guys, it's feminism, it's the culture, it's Instagram. Are men responsible or aren't they?
Men are responsible. I 100% agree with Myron. You can't complain about a world you created.
Yeah.
you know, your bitch ass is the one sitting around smacking your meat to some digital chick instead of getting some real fur, you know. I simply can't relate. You know, I've been getting girls my whole life. I've never had a problem getting girls. You know, when I was 16, I had 10 girlfriends. And I wasn't even boinking them. I just loved feminine energy around me. I was telling Myron earlier, I just love feminine energy around me. Sometimes I'll be around girls and I'm not trying to smash, and that shit leads into me smashing because I'm not trying to, and they trying to figure out why you ain't trying to smash, bitch, because I don't really like you like that. But if you gonna throw the cookie my way, I'll take it, you know. But I think that's what all this shit comes down to is restraint and discipline. Men don't have restraint and discipline. That's why you'll see it manifest in their bank account, and you'll see it manifest in their women. You'll see it manifest in their body. You know, most men can't do a pull-up. You know, like we're talking about, you know, what puts people into these exclusive categories. Your bitch ass can't even do a pull-up, bro. Like, what you doing out here? So, but I mean, the problem is, simps are going to exist.
Yeah.
Simps are going to exist, and they're going to create a market. And I don't think there's anything that's ever going to change that. And I think that the women that have these OnlyFans accounts, I tip my hat off to them.
Yeah.
You provide. Huh?
I don't knock the hustle with those chicks.
Yeah. I mean, you're providing the service to these bitch ass niggas who can't get no girl. You know? So that keeps them from cock blocking us, because that's what these cats really usually used to do before the internet.
That's true.
Yeah,
these
big
cats
facts.
used to cock block us.
Big facts.
So now that they can stay home and whack their meat, they not out to cock block us. They not out in the pack. It used to be you go out and you hunted girls in the pack, and you had a cock blocker here and a cock blocker here, and then the homie here, and he's co-pilot and he's co-pilot. But now the simps is home, like, nah, I'm gonna stay home tonight and whack off the OnlyFans. Good. What'd you say, Donovan?
I said, stay home. Good.
Stay your bitch ass home. There's always gonna be a market for that. And those simps are gonna create that market. But I think there's something great that comes from this, because it shows us which of these women are going to be bottom feeders and which of these women are gonna require more from a man and require more from themselves. So it's making the cream rise to the top. It's making it easier.
But before we get to fresh, what Hotep just said is absolutely correct. And it has something to do with what Myron said. The reason why women stay out of pocket is because we as men allow them to stay out of pocket. Well, then bitches want to know, why do niggas only want to fuck but they don't want to commit? Because you stay fucking niggas on the first date. If you didn't fuck niggas on the first date, they aren't going to use you to fuck on the first date. Or listen, man, people treat you the way you allow them to.
The reason why you stay a fuck buddy is because you have no skills.
Bingo.
You have no skills outside of fucking. If you had some skills outside of fucking, nigga might be like, damn, you could balance my checkbook. I might need to keep this bitch around. Oh, shit. You know, you don't have any skills to contribute to the relationship. And that's
good for fucking, and that's why niggas just fuck you.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Are simps responsible? Are men responsible? If so, how responsible are they?
100% they're responsible.
Sir.
Well, let me just say this, Donovan, right? I respect the hustle of these females out here, OnlyFans,
real
and stuff. I respect the hustle because, look, they got to eat, man, right? And if niggas going to pay for them to eat, shoot, go ahead. I mean, I'm going to save my bread. But I got to say this, right, Donovan, about guys simping. So, like Hotep said, there always going to be simps out there no matter what. However, that was me, bro. And I'll stand on camera. I was that simp. So let me explain, right? I'm from Barbados. I left Barbados, came to Miami, right? I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything. I was a nobody. No one didn't know who I was. I couldn't get any girls, bro, right? So it's like a year out of my life, bro, working on myself, getting a job, actually progressing in life, right? And I realized at that point, I gained confidence. And that confidence was way better than I was. I used to stutter, all that stuff, right? However, I got a job, I was working, and then I started talking to some girls, you know what I'm saying? Cold approach, whatever, go to clubs, and I felt great. But that was 4s and 5s.
Okay.
And I found a 5 that liked me and did whatever I said. And I married her.
Oh!
And I was a single mom.
Oh!
When I tell you, right, I was that simple out there doing that stuff. And then guess what happened, right? That whole experience made me realize, you know what, as a man, it's hard. And if you don't put in the work, you're going to settle.
You escape simpism.
Yeah, no, I
You're a
did.
simpism escapee. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, look,
Sharpe ain't over me.
Congratulations.
that's why I say, like, guys, like, oh,
Warren out there, man.
yeah, and guys say, oh, I'm overweight. I stutter. I'm a nerd. So what, bro? You can change that. And guess what, right? Guess what? Now, Myron sees this, right? I can go on Instagram right now, hit up 3 to 5 bad chicks, and they're at my crib. But see, that was a choice you have to make for yourself. As a guy,
I'm here till Tuesday, so
no. But as a guy, you have a choice to make. You can either stay the same and stay a sim and contribute to this mess of society, or you can say, you know what, I'm sick and tired. We're sick and tired, and make a change for yourself and get hot chicks. Because guess what, guys, at a low level, you won't get hot chicks. We know this.
Yeah.
You can say, I want a hot girl, whatever, but you're never gonna get her. You have to elevate yourself to a certain level, and then they'll come to you by being attracted to you. So I would say this: yes, simps are responsible. Don't be that simp. Become a high value male and live your best life, basically. And yes, Kevin Samuels can save some holes, but not all holes. He's no Superman, but he'll do his best, right? So shout out to him.
I love the statement that you made because it's very self-centric, right? If you want to get girls, you fix yourself. It has nothing to do with women.
Yes, it's all about you.
Yeah.
If you decide today, you know what, I want a hot chick, what do you need to do to get her? You need to get in the gym, probably because your looks. You need to make more money, secondly. And then third, your mindset. Oh, all these girls are hoes, whatever. So what? Pick the ones that are hoes for you.
Yo, and one last thing. I just want to add to that because I know people are going to say, oh, first it's telling you to make money, become a simp. No, you don't make the money to get the girls. You make the money to kick the bitches to the curb that don't fucking come what you say.
Yes.
Because when you make money and you become high value and you get in the gym, whatever, you're not going to tolerate no bullshit from a 19-year-old at a club. You're going to look at her and say, get the fuck out my VIP with a dead ass face. And she's going to look at you and she's going to look at her friends. You know what's going to happen? Her friends are not going to leave the VIP. She's going to leave the VIP. And that's the cold hard reality. And that's how you guys got to move. You guys got to start treating these girls as expendable commodities and put your foot down when they disrespect. So that's why you get the money. You don't get the money for the girl. You get the money to not tolerate the bullshit from the girl to get another one. And in my opinion, Kevin is doing great work, but I don't know if he can save these chicks.
Real quick, before I get to Kevin, Kevin's going to have the final word on this. Something that, and listen, shout out to Steve Dedeen Williams. He says this all the time. The game isn't really about women. It is, and we all think that it is, and we all sort of found this community because that's what we thought. But the game is really about ourselves. You get your shit together and women will come to you. It is an adage as old as time itself. So Kevin, take us home here with the final comment here of the stream.
Okay.
How responsible are men for the state of today's women? And Kevin, can you really save all these hoes out here? Like, what's up, man?
It's a man's world. And yeah, we are responsible even if we didn't know it. And that's the thing. See, a lot of times guys are like, well, I didn't know any better. Yeah, well, leadership, the burdens of leadership. If you take the wins and you didn't know, you got to take the L's. And I think that's and only with that kind of mindset can you actually affect any real change because it starts in the mirror. Women are going to always adjust to how the men of the group perceive themselves. And for the longest, like especially in Generation X, our generation, Donovan, we were sold a lot of things and Babyface and Luther and our mint condition. We were, and the thing is, I am surprised to hear a guy who wasn't blue pill at some point as Generation X because that was the norm and it didn't work for any of us. That's why some of the best RP philosophers, discussions, teachers came through that time because they understand how poorly this works when you allow your masculine frame to fall and allow women to say what they want and have what they want. Now, as far as can I save them all, I ain't trying to save them all. I'm only trying to save the ones who want to deal with the men out here. It's always about men. My clients actually, after they got their appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint together, they wanted a life, and inevitably, some wanted children, some didn't, but they all wanted relationship. And they were finding that there were far too many women unfit for partnership, for relationship, whatever. So that's who I'm trying to talk to. Not everybody, just the ones who want a different outcome with the men. And I make no bones about it. We've tried it. feminism. We've tried single mothers. Why don't we try the old fashioned? Why don't we try? Let's let the men lead. Let men do what they're going to do. And here's the thing: we're not asking for permission anymore. It's me. I'm not trying to ask. I tell guys all the time: take what you want and let the people who kick it with you come around you, and you decide whether or not you want to let them into the VIP or behind the rope or whatever. And amazingly enough, for all my detractors, for people who don't like me, there are far more men and far more women who are like, I fucks with that.
Can I piggyback off of what he said? Because he just
go ahead, man.
He inspired a thought in me. And this is a quote from Sir Francis Bacon, a mystic. And he said, "Wives are young men's mistresses, companions for middle age, and old men's nurses." This is Sir Francis Bacon. I just wanted to put that out there.
I like that. I like the name.
Bacon.
I know it's very sophomoric of me, but I happen to like Bacon.
I'm gonna add to Kevin's thing as well. Like I think with Kevin, like for example, he literally, right, bro, instead of complaining about women, he lets them know up front what's the problem, and as a result, it creates better women. And guys don't really understand. Like, look, you could sit here all day and say, look, women are this, women are that, but Kevin's doing the Lord's work, basically. We should give him all our funds. Instead of going to church, send him a donation. Seriously. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Let me quickly read these super chats, and then we will go around the room and make our closing statements. Technomage, I'm sorry. Truthker, $10 says, just dropping my tuition. Technomage B5 says, you can't save anyone. All you can do is show the way. They have to save themselves. All you gentlemen are doing your part by bearing the scars and showing the way for both men and women. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Chris Bucket, $5 says, old school game is women paying for you. Real talk. Roy Kaufman, $20 says, men are giving up. I agree. After being a creative director for 22 years, it's gone flat. So prayers are welcome as I embark on a new career in law enforcement. As men, we have to change as necessary. Yeah, good luck to you, my friend. Jonas Hunter, $5 says, ask a woman to see her Tinder messages and you'll see so much desperate behavior from quote unquote men. Nigatar says, no, Solo, you don't do 10 more because you're going to get the same result. You go back to the lab and self-improve. But you're right about us being just as entitled and going into simp mode as a result. I like that. I like that handle. Nigatar.
I disagree. Even Jordan had off nights. So talking about the approaching thing. Yeah.
No, I agree. Sauce Factory, $5 says, these dudes out here smashing grenades, beluga whales, and bragging like they're iceberg slam. Another $5 super chat says, one woman showed me her Tinder messages, and this dude was telling her he'd cash app her to send photos of her feet. I was so disgusted. Ay. Yeah. Break. $20 showing my support, rebuilding masculinity, one man at a time. Give me 1 second. Oh,
hey, Donovan, can I add to that last super chat?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
There's a girl right now in my DMs. This guy's paying her $5,000 to come rub her feet.
Oh, stop!
Once a week. No, dead ass. Once a week.
Oh my god, dude.
Once a week.
Dude, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
Oh my god.
J Money, $5 says, good stream. Good Men says, $5 says, Hotep was fire. Nathan Smith, Nathan Synth, oh my god, says, thank you for this panel. Quick question: does going to a strip club count as simp activity?
No.
Only if you are paying.
That's some of the best entertainment and food you're ever gonna get.
Yes.
Wings.
You eat the food at the strip club?
Hell yeah. That's the best tasting food, man.
The chicken wings and the loaded potato skins at the Sapphire Strip Club Boulevard.
The upper end ones where they have the filet mignon sandwiches. Oh man.
Yes. Lemon pepper wings
in the strip club.
Guys, make sure you go when you go. Lemon pepper wings with some fries. Woof.
Yo, listen. Okay, see, here we go. Now we need to do a separate stream. Strip club fare.
Yes.
Like strip club eats. That's listen, strip club's a very underrated food.
Yeah.
Slims with the $5 super chat says, when they live a life of privilege, rejection feels like oppression. Wow.
Bam.
Very nice. All right, we're going to quickly go around the panel and give our closing salvos. Mr. Locario, you're going to hit lead off, man. Tell the people where they can find you and where they can find you and how to get a hold of your material.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you hit me up on Instagram at real Mr. Locario. Also, make sure you guys go to mrlocario.com to get that documentary called Game Kings, the first ever documentary on the game. So you go to mrlocario.com right now to get it. And also check out badboymembership.com to join the Bad Boy membership. That's where you get 45 to 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. And shout out to the whole panel. Shout out to everybody who's watching. We appreciate y'all all.
Solo, tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, but first, I didn't get to answer that question.
Oh, my bad.
Can Kevin save these dotties, these hucks, whatever you want to call them? I think Kevin is doing something unique, right? Instead of just having the conversation with men, now the women are involved, because you look at it and how much, when we look at self-improvement, right, in regards to men, how, we talk about working out, we talk about getting your money right, we talking about your mindset and stuff like that. But now the women are confused because of the fact that everything that they've been taught or everything that they were told is not working for them. So they're looking for answer. I don't want to say any names, but that dating coach who was always sitting in his car, he doesn't have the answer. Steve Harvey doesn't have the answer. And so Kevin is doing something very unique by giving the answer. So I want to say that.
Okay.
Secondly, my name is Solo TV84. I'm on YouTube. Just type in SOLO TV84. Instagram, Solo TV84. And like I said, I do all types of stuff. I do crypto. I do social commentary in regards to dating. I also talk about social circle game, and then that's what I specialize in. And then I also talk about esoteric spiritual stuff as well here and there, like NoFap and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. All right, very good, very, very well said. Myron, tell the people who you are and where they can find you.
Myron Gaines, guys, obviously one half of the Fresh Fit podcast. Get on our Patreon, patreon.com/freshfit, where we basically give you guys exclusive content. We also host Zoom calls for $50 and $97 tier guys, one time per week for $50, 2 times per week at $97. We answer questions on fitness, game, everything related with self-improvement. And other than that, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fresh and Fit. And we're going to have Hotep Jesus live in studio tomorrow for an interview for the Fresh and Fit podcast tomorrow at 6 p.m. Patreon.com/freshfit. Thank you for having me on the show, man. This was lit.
Absolutely. Hotep, tell the people where they can find you, and mention the name of that book one more time.
Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, 22 rules of unbreakable rules to masculinity that I've learned over my 40 years of life on this earth. I want to direct everyone to go to YouTube and type in Hotep Jesus and travel down the 24 plus. I guess you can say I have multiple personality order. I don't say disorder because my personalities are in order. So I have multiple personality order. So what you saw from me tonight, you'll find something different on Tim Pool. You'll find something different from me on Joe Rogan. And yeah. I don't say no to podcasts. So people who reach out to me, I always take interviews because I love talking to people. And I feel like when you're at the top, you still got to, give the content to the people at the bottom, because how are they supposed to build their platforms? Okay. So I suggest people glue in to all 24 of my personalities by searching Hotep Jesus on YouTube, and go to my website, briansharpe.co, and that's where you can keep up with me, the tech entrepreneur, my tech projects. I sell Bitcoin, coinbitsapp.com. Again, coinbitsapp.com. And one more time, coinbitsapp.com.
Yes, coinbitsapp.com. Explain to us what that is. This is fascinating.
Yeah, so basically the software is going to purchase Bitcoin automatically based upon the limit you set. So you might say, hey, I want to buy Bitcoin once a week at $50. I'm going to put $50 towards Bitcoin a week. So that's $200 a month. Every week, we're just going to go buy Bitcoin, and it accumulates. And this is based upon the dollar cost average investing strategy. Is the Ray Dalio would definitely advise when you're going to invest to do the dollar cost average investing strategy. So that's what we base our software model off of. And Bitcoin has just eclipsed 19K, and it's back over 19K as I checked a few moments ago.
Yeah.
So coinbitsapp.com, make sure y'all get included in there. It's a very, very great project. Great things happening over there. But my personal website is Brian Sharpe, BryanSharpe.co.
One last question about Coinbits app, Hotep. Does it purchase the Bitcoin based on, now it's based on parameters, which means that every time it purchases, it's going to be a different amount, or can you set it based on percentages?
No, it's going to purchase whatever dollar amount you purchase that week and whatever the price of Bitcoin is that week.
Perfect. Okay, I like that. That's a coinbitsapp.com, guys. Coinbit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in investing, people get caught up in, what's the price that you buy at?
Yes.
And really, the real question is, what is the average price you purchased your investments in? And that goes for even in stock market investing. Just because you purchased at, let's say you purchased Visa, like I purchased Visa under $100, and so let's say you purchased Visa at $90, but you never invested, at $100, at 110, at 120. You haven't accumulated those securities. So you haven't been, just because you bought at a low price doesn't mean your total capital or principal isn't high. You want to keep your principal rising along with your investments. So that's why I say always be buying, always be investing, and 90% of your money should be working in some sort of investment vehicle.
Excellent. Yeah, I think you and I need to do a Bitcoin podcast together. I think that would be.
I'm down. Hit me up.
Fresh, tell the people where they can find you.
All right, it's your boy Fresh Prince CEO. The other half is the Fresh and Fit podcast, and you can find me on Instagram, Fresh Prince CEO. I'm your social media dating coach. Basically, like whatever you need for social media, I got you. How to attract rather than chase girls, and follow us on patreon.com/freshfit for all the behind the scenes for social media, fitness, becoming a better high value man. And at the same time, check us out on the podcast, Fresh and Fit on YouTube. Let's go.
Listen, Fresh Prince CEO is the real fucking deal. I had 4,200 Instagram followers 48 hours ago. I now stand, last I checked, was just over 14,000. This kid, listen, he knows the formula. He is the Instagram wizard. You got to hire this guy for real. Kevin, man, listen, take us home, man. Tell the people where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you.
Well, these days you just
already know.
Just look.
He everywhere now.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at kevinsamuels.com or YouTube Kevin Samuels. What else, man? Just, here's the thing, guys. Ultimately, you got to make a choice. What are you going to do? Everything comes down to a choice. You can't choose what happens to you. You can only choose how to respond to it. And everybody who's sitting here decided to be here. There's nothing really different about a guy who wins versus a guy who loses. Just one decided to put the work in to get the win. Really, that's what it kind of comes down to, man. A lot of people say this person is lucky or that person. Lucky is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
It is.
Nothing is more wasted than natural talent. Look at all the guys who had great potential and went nowhere. Give me guys who are going to put the work in day after day, week after week, month after month. And the behind the scenes, this is the cool shit. The 95% of the stuff you don't see behind the scenes is the difference between success and failure.
Yes.
Peace out.
Wow. Talk. Gentlemen, that is going to do it for this. One of the most fire episodes we've ever done on the Mario had to go. So he is gone. Thank everyone on the panel. Thank you to Lucario. Shout out to Jap, couldn't be here tonight. Shout out to Solo TV 84, Myron Gaines, Fresh Prince CEO, Kevin Samuels, and of course, Hotep Jesus. We will see you guys back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you for all of the super chats and the support. Don't forget to tune in to the Fresh and Fit podcast tomorrow night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you, Donovan.
Thank you.
Hotep Jesus. I will definitely be tuning into that. Thank you all for